Imagine this. You've dreamed of living and working in the United States, but every time you research visas, you're hit with the same discouraging requirement: invest a huge amount of money, tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get started. For many immigrants, that dream feels out of reach before it even begins. But what if I told you there's a way to get an E2 visa without making a massive investment? Yes, you heard that right. There's an often overlooked pathway that allows you to qualify as an essential employee instead. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is an essential employee? It's not about being a CEO or owning a business. It's about having specialized skills, experience, or a unique role that a U.S. company truly needs. If you can fill that gap, you can secure your E2 visa without emptying your bank account. This option opens doors for skilled workers, professionals, and even those with specific expertise who may never have considered the E2 visa as an option. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how this works. You'll learn what qualifications are needed, what employers are looking for, and how you can position yourself to meet these criteria. We'll also cover the most common mistakes applicants make and how to avoid them, so you don't waste time or risk denial. Stay with me because this information is going to change the way you think about the E2 visa. Whether you're an immigrant already in the US or planning your move from abroad, this could be the opportunity you've been waiting for. But before we dive in, do me a favor. If this topic resonates with you and you want to stay updated on the best immigration tips, make sure to hit that like button right now. It really helps this video reach more people like you who need this information. So, are you ready to learn how to qualify for an E2 visa without investing? Great. Now, let's jump right in and talk about how this works in a way that's simple and easy to understand. First, you need to know what the E2 visa actually is. Most people think the E2 visa is only for investors. You invest a large amount of money into a US business, create jobs, and that's it. While that is one path, it's not the only one. What many immigrants don't realize is that the E2 visa also has a category for employees, not just business owners. That means you can actually qualify if you're coming to the US to work for an E2 business as an essential employee. No massive investment required, no starting your own business from scratch. Instead, you leverage your skills, your experience, and your unique value to become indispensable to an employer who already has an E2 approved business. So, what does it mean to be an essential employee? Think of it this way: the company you'll work for must show that you bring something special to the table that they can't easily find in the US workforce. This doesn't mean you need to have 10 PhDs or be the world's #1 expert in something, but it does mean your background should stand out. Maybe you have years of experience in a very specific industry, or you've developed skills that are hard to find locally. For example, if you've worked in a niche manufacturing process, speak multiple languages critical to the business, or have management experience in a unique field, you could qualify. The key is that the employer must demonstrate to immigration authorities that you are essential to the success of their US operations. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great, but how do I actually find an employer who can sponsor me this way? This is where strategy comes into play. You're not just applying to random jobs online hoping someone magically knows how to sponsor an E2 employee. You need to target companies that already have E2 status. These are businesses owned by nationals of a treaty country, meaning their home country has a treaty of commerce with the US. This is crucial because only these businesses can bring you in under the E2 employee category. So, step one is identifying those companies. Often, these are small to mid-sized businesses run by entrepreneurs from countries like Canada, the UK, Germany, Japan, South Korea, and many others that have treaties with the US. They could be restaurants, tech companies, service providers, manufacturers. The possibilities are wide open. Once you've identified potential employers, the next step is to show them why you're the perfect fit. This is where you really need to sell yourself. You have to clearly explain how your skills will directly benefit their business. Employers need to see that hiring you isn't just a favor. it's an advantage for them. For example, if you have specialized technical knowledge that will help them expand, streamline operations, or reach new markets, make that clear. Share examples of how you've delivered results in the past. Remember, this is about showing them you're not just another job applicant, you're the missing piece they've been searching for. A lot of immigrants worry that they won't stand out because they don't have some flashy title or elite degree. But here's the truth, it's not just about degrees. It's about what you can actually do for the company. Maybe you've spent years mastering a trade, managing teams, or building relationships in a market they want to enter. All of this counts. What immigration wants to see is that your role is truly essential to the business, and the company would be at a disadvantage without you. This is where your confidence matters. Don't downplay your expertise. Own it and communicate it clearly. Now, let's talk about the legal side for a moment, because this is where many people get nervous. The E2 visa as an employee is still tied to the company that sponsors you. This means you can't just switch jobs anytime you want because your visa is linked to that specific employer. If you leave, your visa could be at risk. But the good news is, as long as you maintain your role and the company remains in good standing, you can keep renewing the visa. And unlike some other visas, there's no strict cap on how many times you can renew it. That gives you long-term stability as long as you and your employer continue to meet the requirements. You might also be wondering, do I need to have a job offer first, or can I apply on my own? The answer is you do need an offer from an E2 business. The employer has to include you in their E2 visa petition, showing why your position is essential. This is why building relationships and networking with the right companies is so important. Don't be afraid to reach out directly to businesses that fit the profile. Explain who you are, what you offer, and ask if they've ever considered hiring under the E2 employee category. Many business owners don't even realize this is an option, so you could be educating them while opening a door for yourself. Now, let's address some of the fears that might be creeping in. You might be thinking, what if I'm not essential enough? Or what if no company is willing to do this for me? These are valid concerns, but they shouldn't stop you from trying. There are countless stories of immigrants who thought they didn't have a chance, only to discover that their unique background made them exactly what a business needed. The key is persistence and preparation. Do your research, improve your skills if needed, and approach this process with a proactive mindset. Remember, this pathway exists for a reason, to bring talented, valuable workers into the U.S. economy. You could very well be that talent. It's also important to be realistic. This process isn't overnight, and it does require effort. You may face rejections along the way, but every step teaches you something new. Keep refining your approach, keep reaching out, and eventually, the right opportunity will come along. And when it does, you'll be ready to seize it. Finally, let's talk about why this matters so much. For many immigrants, the E2 visa through investment is simply not an option. They don't have the funds to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that dream feels like it's slipping away. But this essential employee route changes the game. It gives skilled workers and professionals a way to achieve their American dream without the financial burden. It's a chance to build a life in the U.S., contribute to a growing business, and create new opportunities for yourself and your family. So, if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been thinking your options are limited, I want you to remember this. There is always a way forward if you're willing to look for it. The E2 Essential Employee Visa is proof of that. It's a door that's open for those who have the courage to walk through it. In the next part of this video, we'll dive deeper into the exact steps you need to take to increase your chances of success, including how to identify the right employers and prepare for the application process. But before we continue, if this information has been helpful to you so far, please take just 1 second to hit that like button. It might seem like a small action, but it makes a huge difference in helping this video reach more people who need this knowledge. Together, we can help more immigrants discover the opportunities they deserve. So, go ahead, click that like, And let's move on to the next part where we'll uncover even more about making your E2 visa dream a reality.